What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, there are tons of different barbecue sauces. You go into your local grocery store, there's more than enough to choose from. But I love to make my own sauces, and there's one I know I'm going to be craving this weekend for Memorial Day weekend as I make some wings on the smoker, as well as probably some pulled pork as well, and that's a Carolina Gold sauce. But we're going to do one today where we're going to bring a little more heat with a special ingredient, so let's get started. All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and get started here in our kitchen today building this Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, our little bit of spicier of addition we're going to do here today. So every Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, you can research a million recipes, are all going to start with basically some type of just classic yellow mustard. So we're going to do that today. We're looking to get in here about what will be a 3/4 of a cup of mustard. So with this small 8-ounce container of mustard, once again, it will be almost all of it coming out of here because I'm sure it's not fully 8 ounces that they packaged in it to begin with. So let's get that mustard in there. All right, my friends, I think we're good on the mustard. So the next ingredient is going to be kind of what we're going to do special today. So once again, if you research recipes, at some point you're going to be adding a little bit of heat in here anyway, like some cayenne, some hot sauce, more or less of that depending on how you want it. Well, we're going to eliminate those two ingredients today because instead of using kind of a sweeter honey that most recipes call for, we're going to go with some Mike's Hot Honey. So what we're getting in here is try to get about what will be about 1/3 of a cup of that hot honey. All right, that's definitely gonna bring some extra heat for us along the way. All right, so and then next we're gonna grab ourselves some brown sugar. Now for this brown sugar, I'm also gonna go with about 1/3 of a cup of that brown sugar as well. More sweetness. Obviously that brown sugar will hopefully bring down a little bit of that heat that we have in that Mike's Hot Honey. All right, so the next ingredient, we're gonna give ourselves some apple cider vinegar. Here we're looking to get about what will be a 1/2 cup of that apple cider vinegar. All right, got that apple cider vinegar in there. And next we're gonna hit it with just a little bit of ketchup. All right, with probably about 2 tablespoons here of that ketchup. There we go. Ketchup is in, and then just a dash of granulated garlic powder. And I'm going to hit it with just a little bit of that Worcestershire sauce as well. Not too much here, probably about maybe 2 teaspoons worth. And then we're going to hit it with a dash of salt. And then we're going to come back and we're going to grab ourselves a whisk. Once we grab that whisk, we're going to be ready to begin to blend those ingredients together. We're going to continue to mix this. While I'm mixing this, I've got myself a pot over here, small sauce pot, sorry, on my oven. We're going to get it warmed up here so we can kind of cook this down just a little bit and get ready to then finish off this barbecue sauce. Okay, so we've got that pot going here. All we're looking to do is really simmer this sauce in the pot for about 10 minutes. That'll cook it down just a little bit. And then we'll get it in a container where we'll need to refrigerate it for at least overnight. So let's go ahead and get ourselves that. So look how golden that looks, friends, already. Go and get that sauce in the pan. I don't want to leave any behind here. Leave no sauce behind. All right. There we go, my friends. So we'll get that to that simmer for about 10 minutes. Maybe a good time to mention as well, like I started the show off with today, I love making my own barbecue sauces. You've probably seen on our channel, we got that Alabama white barbecue sauce we've done. Got a great bourbon barbecue sauce. We've kind of done the smoked edition of that. That's really amazing as well, plus several others. So make sure you check those out. I'll make sure I put all the information, links to those in the description for you. Let's come back and check on this in 10 minutes. Well, it's been a little over 10 minutes. That sauce should be ready to go. I'm gonna turn that off. And there we go, my friends. So we're gonna get it, let it cool for just a moment so we can give it a taste test and get it into a container that we can put in the refrigerator. All right, friends, since we don't have a lot of sauce here, I just got myself kind of that smaller mason jar. Let's see if I can slowly pour that in there without making a huge mess. Look at that golden color. You can smell the tanginess of like that apple cider. You can smell that mustard as well. What I'm wondering about is how much heat that Mike's Hot Honey is going to bring on the back of the tongue. Let me finish getting this in the jar and then we're going to find out. All right, so got that sauce in the mason jar. We're going to throw that in the refrigerator in a minute where we want to keep it in it for at least 24 hours. It'll last up to like 5 to 7 days. You should be okay right there with that, especially if you're making it before you go into a big barbecue weekend. A little bit left in the pan here, so this is where we're going to get our taste test from. I'm sure this will be a little still nice and warm. So I have to admit, this whole Carolina Gold BBQ Sauce thing has grown on me over time. I grew up in kind of central Virginia, went to college on the side of eastern North Carolina, so I grew up with my barbecue sauces very, very much that vinegar base and ketchup base along the way. It wasn't until really, after living on the West Coast and then coming to St. Louis where I am now, where I really fell in love with the Carolina Gold sauce itself. So this is really good. It's a great way to put sauce on wings, a great taste. It's not a spicy sauce, kind of a different flavor. We've got some places here locally where I live that use kind of a Carolina Gold type sauce on their wings and are absolutely amazing. If you've never tried them that way, I definitely suggest doing it. Don't overdo it with the sauce. Go light first and add more along the way. If you like our recipes, especially our sauce recipes, whether it be that Eastern Carolina, that Bourbon BBQ, the Alabama White, any of our recipes, make sure you check them out. All the information you know is in the description. You guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. Make sure you relax, have a little fun as you kick off the unofficial start of summer. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews.